Yo, what up? This is Ree here. Real Monsock back again with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you, and let's just get into this. So, have you ever wondered who you were in a past life? Well, I can tell you using Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology talks about a lot about past lives and past karma, and the definition of karma in the Vedic tradition is to act. So, it's kind of showing that every action has an equal or opposing reaction. Here's a few tips that you can use so you can look at your chart and kind of see what was going on in your last life and some of the lives before. Now, one way you can do that, I'm going to bring up my chart. If my chart looks different than how I described it in previous videos, is because in April, when there was a square with the moon and Pluto, I found out that my birth time was wrong. So here we go again, but this one makes a lot more sense. So what we're using is the Vedic sidereal, well, the whole house, but we're using sidereal. It only works like that. It doesn't work with tropical or anything like that. And if you want to know what that looks like, you could just go online and Google birth chart Vedic sidereal, and there's so many that pop up and you can get a free one, or you can go to astro.com, has them as well. Anyways, so what you can do, so see, it has all the whole houses, right? They're all equal. You go to your sixth house and you treat your sixth house as if it's your first house, and you start from there and then you go down. So this is my sixth is Leo. My first house would be Leo, and then my second house would be Virgo. Then my third house would be Libra. So you just keep going, and you're going to notice some things that are similar to how you are now in a way. So that's one thing. And then so if we use our natural chart, this is another technique. So now go back to your chart that you have in this life, and then you look at the 12th house. Now, the 12th house in Vedic, they say it ends up being where all your past karma is from many lives. So you can look into your 12th house. See here, mine is Aquarius. So you can be like, okay, what does that mean? So like the ascendant is the beginning, right? Our first house is like the beginning because it's a sign that rises from the eastern horizon when you're born. But the 12th house is the end, right? So as they say, with the end, there's a new beginning is not possible. And also the 12th house is the house of loss, and it's the house of meditation, incarnation, and the house of karmas. So if you want to look at what your karma is, you can look at the sign. It's going to be the energy of that. So for what it is for me, it's kind of like it's the energy of Aquarius. So you can kind of look that up if you don't really know what that would mean. Or there's a book you can get, this one, Past Life and Pending Karmas, Vedic Astrology by Jay Yadav. If people are interested, I'll do like a whole thing about this. I'll make it even longer. So for me, for example, Aquarius is like sudden death caused by impatience or lack of fooling others and judgment. Shrinking responsibilities in the last life may have the cause of karmic debt. In the present life, the native is dependent and serves others. So that's why in Vedic, I'm a Pisces. And Pisces is about serving others. And then also, if you have any planets in your 12th house, that's going to tell you as well. These planets will have the energy of that planet, and it's going to tell you, shows more pending karma and more karmic influence in the present life. So if there's more than one planet in the 12th house, the native have lots of pending karmas will be paid back in this life. And every planet will show you what that means as well. Another way is with the moon's nodes. So that's pending karma. So with the nodes of the moon, you have Rahu and then you have Ketu. So Rahu is the north node and Ketu is the south node, and they act as a thread connecting past incarnations to the present birth. So Ketu represents the inlet of karmas in the area of life in which the native has been mostly active or enjoying the most of his past incarnations, but where self-development is obstructed in this life because of past deeds. Now, Rahu indicates the distribution of the debts in the past life karmas in the present birth and shows the desire the native wants to fulfill in the present incarnation. So that's why they say Rahu is kind of what you're gonna to become in a way. It has many meanings. There's a high frequency level of Rahu, or there's a low frequency of Rahu, which can be like materialistic, just caring about, getting to the top, or any means necessary kind of thing. So you can look at the nodes, and then where the nodes are going to be. So if you look at K2 or your south node, it's like that's the energy of where you're coming from in your past life. You look at the north node, that's the goal, to understand more of that energy. For me, I have my south node, my K2 in Scorpio. So like, for example, if you have that in Scorpio, then you brought the occult with you from another life and you knew it before. Chances are there's several meanings, but that's one of the deeper meanings. And it depends on which house it's in as well. So that will tell you other things. And another way to do it is to check any planets that are in retrograde. Some people have Saturn in retrograde. Some people have Pluto. Vedic doesn't talk too much about like this book about Pluto, only the personal planet. They're going to be things that you're coming into this life to redo. Retrograde, to redo. Maybe that wasn't completed in the last life. You didn't learn what you wanted to learn. So you're like, okay, I'm going to do it again. And I found a lot of people who have retrograde planets end up being together. They're learning from each other from these past life things. That's another way for you to kind of figure out who you may have been in a past life. I hope that helps, and I love y'all, and real motherfucker.